This is the top 10 horror films of 2022 and the worst 5, with some honorable mentions. I am Chuckloaf. This is the 1200 Films Podcast. 1, 2, 3, let's go. The worst 5. Let's get some worst 5 music going. Much better. Worst 5 horror films of this year. I think I watched 60, I didn't write it down, 60 some total horror films from this year. These are the 5 worst. Number 5, 5th worst, Raven's Hollow, that Edgar Allan Poe origin story, completely unnecessary. It had some moments. Concept wasn't bad. It was just forgettable. Forgettable nothing. Next, 4th worst, They Them. Kevin Bacon's had some horror hits, Stir of Echoes. But what have you done in the last 10 years? Not much. Keep trying. 3rd worst, gosh, VHS 99. VHS 94, which came out a year and a half ago, won my best movie of the year, and this was one of the worst. That's pretty sad. 2nd worst, is that where we're at? Yes, Bodies. The only thing I remember about this movie is a sad Pete Davidson, sad and uninspired. Looked like he ready to put a gun in his mouth. But the absolute worst film, the number 1 worst film, by far and away, Jeepers Creepers Reborn. I did a whole video on this movie called Jeepers Creepers Reborn as a Botched Abortion. It's a botched abortion because it should have been aborted. Someone should have stepped up and said, we're making poop. Let's stop. Cut our losses. Do not release this. But no, they messed up and it ended up being reborn. Unfortunately for everyone that watched it. I did find one good review of this movie online in Mojo, who does a lot of lists, that channel, and it was the best horror movies of 2022 so far. And after they listed it at number 6, they admitted that they have not seen the film, but the buzz was that it's going to be a classic. Well, you probably shouldn't put movies on your list before watching. That was a mistake. All right, on to our honorable mentions. 5 honorable mentions that almost made the top 10. First one, 1,000 Little Cuts. Sometimes a Lifetime Channel type movie can be really, really good, and this is one of those. It wasn't a Lifetime Channel movie, but it came across that way. There is a actual Lifetime Channel movie called Static, which came out about 10 years ago, which is excellent. But, anyway, why did I mention that? I don't know. Next, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This was more of a sequel? It was a sequel to the original. They tried to pull off the same thing that Halloween pulled off in 2018 with just jumping to part 2 after there's already been part 2s and just kind of forgetting the other films. But the violence was enough to save it and make it worth an honorable mention. Next one, Mad God. I wasn't super high in this, but the effort put into this and the creativity and the visual effects, this movie took about 30 years to make and hundreds of different college students to put this together. And it plays out like a nightmare. It's something I'll never forget. Even though it's not a great film as far as, you know what I mean? It's not. But it's still definitely something to behold. Next, Resurrection. I bashed this movie because the ending wasn't great, but sometimes the journey is good enough. The journey is better than the destination, you know what I mean? And that was this film. Next, Deadstream. I kept calling this film Deadcast. It's not Deadcast, it's Deadstream. Like a podcast, Deadcast. Knowing a YouTuber goes into a haunted house and finds more than he's bargained for. It was a lot of fun. It was a little cheesy. And the character was over the top in a believable way. In a YouTuber over the top kind of way. But definitely worth checking out. And now on to the top 10. Top 10 horror movies of the year. Where's the music? There it is. Yes. Yes. Number 10, Watcher. A rear window type movie where the person in an apartment has someone watching them from across the way and suspicions rise. Very well made, very well done, very well acted. I didn't think it would make my top 10, but it did. Number 9, Significant Other. Couple goes out in the woods. It's kind of a Lost in the Woods, Invasion of the Body Snatchers type thing going on, deal out there, and very well directed, very well acted, a lot of fun, worth watching. Next, where are we at? Number 8, Halloween Ends. Yes, I know, it wasn't what we all wanted, it wasn't what we all expected, but still, pretty good film. Therefore, it gets ranked. Number 7, No Exit. This chick breaks out of her mental asylum to go see her ailing mother, and a blizzard forces her to stay at some community center. And some people there aren't so nice. Not so nice. Next, where are we at? Number 6, Terrifier 2. First time I saw it, I didn't think it was great. Then I watched it again. This movie is great. It's pretty awesome. It's more torturous than horror, but that clown is spooky. That clown is spooky. Number 5, The Cursed. If you're digging around in the dirt and you find some silver teeth, don't put it in your mouth. Don't do it. Lesson learned. Number 4, Prey. The new Predator film. Some people will say, that's not horror, it's science fiction. If Michael Myers goes around a house and kills people, it's a horror. If an alien goes around a forest and kills people, it's science fiction. Whatever. It's sci-fi horror, thank you. It's nothing super original, but it was a lot of fun, and it's worth watching, especially if you like the Predator characters. Now on to the top 3. This top 3 was stellar. Number 3, Black Phone. Ethan Hawke hits another home run. He's turning into the man. He's turning into the man. He's so creepy. And all the kids in this were so excellent. Plays with your emotions. This movie just gets you. Amazing. Amazing film. Number 2. Number 2 was tough. 1, 2, and 3 were all so great. Gosh. Number 2, Pearl. Which is was made after X, and it's really an origin story of one of the characters from X that I didn't know really deserved it, but Pearl was so amazing. It's basically Psycho meets Wizard of Oz. That's basically what it is. The colors, the music, the score, amazing visual effects, just amazing film. X was fine, it was okay, it's nothing special, but this was, and you don't really need to see X to see Pearl, since it's an origin story. But yes, can't recommend that movie enough. Of course, number 1, Barbarian. Holy Christ, this roller coaster, and it's not done in a standard, straightforward way. You got to kind of pay attention a little, because sometimes it feels like the film is restarting, but it's not. It's just going from a different angle or perspective of a character, but it's all meeting up. It all meets up. Yeah, Jesus, in a pretty fantastic way. I really can't say much about it because I'll give it away, and I don't want to ruin it for anyone because this film is amazing. Amazing. And what I will say, in retrospect of these top 3 films I just listed off, people were saying this was a great year for horror, and I think overall that's not really true. But these top 3 films were probably the 3 best films I've seen in the last 5 years. So in that case, I guess maybe it is a great year, maybe, as far as great films. But as far as really good films, it's down. It's down pretty drastically. But we'll see. We'll see. If next year we can get 5 great films like this, then I'll take it. I'll take it in a heartbeat. So, that's it. Comment, like, subscribe, do whatever you want. Thanks for watching, and until next year.